If the government, public health, and these responsible agencies have already said Georgetown Primary is on lockdown and you need to stay home until you get your notification to go in for testing, explain to me why parents are being seen at restaurants around the island, including a restaurant in the Savannah area. Explain to me why parents who go to Georgetown Primary are taking their children to an appointment at the HSA. Explain to me how that explain to me how that makes any sense. Like, you guys need to break it down. We want to talk about the government. We want to talk about what our expectations are of them, and that's fine. I don't have any issues with that at some level. But what about the community expectations? What about the expectations of, what you're going to do as a responsible parent when it comes to keeping your child at home? Have a look at this message. You guys are going to see precisely why I'm so concerned. Here's a message that someone just sent out saying that they were at the HSA for an appointment at the women's clinic, and after they finished their appointment, they were standing by the check-in desk, and they overheard a staff who was saying that they needed to make a report to someone, that a woman came into the clinic this morning for the appointment with her children, um, which she shouldn't have been there. I mean, I don't understand this. What on earth are you guys doing? If you're part of Georgetown Primary contingent, you've been told to stay home. You don't show up for a regular doctor's appointment. Today isn't the day that you try to do that. I mean, it's just absolutely irresponsible and ridiculous, and it demonstrates why, regardless of how you see this COVID situation, is not going anywhere. But what will be more detrimental to us is a lack of common sense in the community. If community members don't know how to properly wear a mask, if they don't know how to properly sanitize, they're refusing because of their own ignorance to get vaccinated. Half of them don't even want to be tested. They're just running amok, like they can just do whatever the hell they want and don't give a damn. And then when a child dies or somebody dies, then you want to blame the government. You need to take some individual responsibility. How do you show up? Honestly, how do you go to an appointment? That's exactly how it spreads. How do you go to an appointment today with a child, whether you have that child with you or you're the parent or whatever at Georgetown Primary School? You're supposed to be staying at home. The whole idea is you're in lockdown until the government, the public health department, has tested everyone and has said, maybe they still want you to quarantine for another week or so, and then they're going to retest you or whatever the situation. What are you doing up in a restaurant? What are it just doesn't make any sense. And I'm really just doing this as a call to action to hopefully encourage people to demonstrate some common sense. Your government can't save you from your own stupidity. That's the bottom line. If you're being stupid and you're being reckless with your own lives and the lives of other people, you're exposing other people, you're out and about, that is a very, very dangerous situation. Yes, there's certain workplaces today that have decided to shut down to give parents an opportunity to be able to stay home with their children, but not every company in this moment is in a position to do that. And if we want to, you know, avoid a complete lockdown, I would recommend that you guys start to utilize a little bit of common sense. A complete lockdown is the easiest thing in the world to do. It's not necessarily the right thing to do in this moment, but it's definitely the easiest thing to do. So all of you guys giving, the previous government their kudos, yes, they locked us down, and that was the easy part. And even then, we still had infractions. We still had people breaching it, people going to the neighbor's house, people being caught. It comes down to individual responsibility. And this is where I really want to encourage people in this community. Let's be better than every other country out there when it comes to that. We want to talk about Jamaica. We want to talk about the Bahamas. We want to talk about all these other countries, Bermuda, the USA, that's struggling with COVID. You know why they're struggling with COVID? Because ultimately, just like the vaccine, it's not about a personal choice. It's about you making choices that are in the best interest of the entire community, right? You don't need to go to a restaurant on the corner, friggin' order delivery. Like, that's just being selfish, and it's being incredibly stupid because you don't know at this particular time if you have it or not. So we've got a press briefing coming up at 5 o'clock. I felt I just want to do a really brief and quick live stream to tell people, I'm shocked at the stories that I'm hearing. I am hearing some other positive cases. I haven't been able to confirm that. So the other thing I want to say is let's just try to keep the rumor mill down to a minimum. When I know something, I'm definitely going to let you guys know it. If we have any additional positive cases, I'm happy to share that information. But right now, feeding into this like frenzy isn't helping anyone. Everybody just needs to remain calm, take a chill pill, just relax in the face of what we're dealing with. It's going to be okay. We're going to get through this. You know, panicking doesn't help the situation, but also going out there and being stupid and being selfish likewise doesn't help the situation. There are options for you to be a little bit smarter, and I'm just really imploring all people in the community to please exercise those options. So 5 o'clock we go live again. We'll hear what the government has to say. They're obviously in cabinet, which today is Tuesday, would have been cabinet anyway. They've been meeting all day. I think this is the only thing that's on their agenda for sure. And we'll hear, what their recommendations are for how we move forward. If more schools have to be locked down or whatever is going to happen. But, like I said, locking down is easy in one sense, but it also has a tremendous impact on the entire community from an economic impact to a psychological impact. A lot of people struggle being in lockdown, and we have to think about the mental wealth and health and mental health and well-being of people in our community, especially if it's not going to make that much of a significant difference. So I think for now, just kind of chill out. I'll see you guys again at 5 o'clock when we do the press briefing. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask of the government, I'll be on the Zoom link. You can certainly send those through to me at this particular time. So thanks, Ms. Beulah, Elizabeth, everybody else for tuning in. You guys have a safe afternoon. And again, if you're part of that contingency at Georgetown Primary in particular, I'm imploring you to please just stay home. Like it doesn't make any sense to me why you would be out and about trying to potentially infect people with this. It's just legit crazy. And I hope that stops now that we have addressed it. So you guys have a good afternoon.